Have you heard of the whole concept of value-based care yet? And perhaps the 3 different models that are being introduced to roll this out across the country? Because that's what's happening right now. If you haven't heard of it, it is something you need to be aware of because it's spreading quickly across the country. In this video, I'm going to explain the whole concept of value-based care and what it means to you, what it should mean to you, and what you should be doing right now to prepare. Because it is getting more and more adoption in many of the states, and chances are it's headed your way eventually, probably sooner rather than later. So it's a good idea to prepare, so to understand the basics before value-based care arrives in your community. So value-based care can be either good or not so good, depending upon the outcomes that your patients are experiencing right now. And the great news is that you probably have some time to up your game, if you will, and employ new technology or different types of services to get even better results for your patients. That's critical because patient outcomes is the name of the game inside value-based care. I'm Dr. Chris Tomshack, CEO of HealthSource, which is America's chiropractor, and you are watching the Chiropractor Solution channel, which is the video series we put together that helps you grow your chiropractic practice and your career, of course, both professionally and personally. So before we dive in, if you would, please make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you can continue to receive these videos. And give us a thumbs up if you enjoy the content to make it easier for other chiropractors to find this material. So just last week, like a week ago today, I was talking to a representative from a new Class 4 high-powered laser manufacturer. So this is one of the 25 watt plus. We already use an incredibly effective laser in our clinics, but we test all new technology, all new devices in our quest to always be able to offer the very best outcomes to our patients. So for us, it's about outcomes, and that's what value care is about, value-based care is about. So this representative, this salesperson, was telling me how more and more orthopedic surgeons were ordering this particular laser, the one that the gentleman was dropping off, and they were buying them because using them on their post-surgical patients got them better results than the patients received who did not utilize this particular laser. So it was about patient outcomes. So why did this matter? Well, because these surgeons are in areas in which value-based care has already arrived, it's a big economic impact for them because when they get better results from the patients they operated on than their peers, they actually get paid more for doing the same type of surgery. And meanwhile, their peers or colleagues that have less positive surgical outcomes, they get paid less. So better outcomes, better pay. So my math tells me that if you're trying to get paid more than others for performing the same type of work, well, then if this laser delivers better outcomes, it's a smart investment that pays off immediately. And let's not forget that as a doctor, don't we all want to possess the highest skill level to deliver the very best results to our patients? So in this specific example, the surgeons have learned that providing this type of laser to these types of surgical patients creates a better result for the patient. In return, they get paid more than the surgeons not utilizing this device because they don't get the same results. So as it was designed, value-based care is a type of reimbursement that literally ties reimbursement or payments for care delivery to the quality of the care provided. And then it rewards the providers, the doctors, for both effectiveness and efficiency. In other words, patient outcomes. And this type of reimbursement is emerging strongly as an alternative and a potential replacement for the traditional fee-for-service model that we have in this country. And that was the whole reason it was designed, was to be a replacement. Even Medicare, even the Medicare model, which is often used as a template for other third-party payers, often meaning almost always, they've adopted several different models of value-based care already in their system. Here's the thing. The traditional fee-for-service model that we have today, that rewards the provider, the doctor, or the hospital for the quantity of services and tests provided to the patient. Make sense? This is obviously why so many needless tests and procedures are performed. It's the economic reward. So value-based care is different. The provider gets rewarded in direct relationship to the outcomes that their patients are receiving from their care. Better patient results equals better reimbursement. Personally, I kind of like that model. You get rewarded by being paid higher than others when you deliver the very best outcomes in your area. This sort of forces you to always be seeking ways to create even better outcomes for your patients. And that's a good end to be in search of. And the patients win because, of course, they heal better. And the doctor wins by earning more for the services they provide simply because the results are better than their colleagues. So what was the primary reason value-based care came about? You already know that answer. It's all about saving money. And this reimbursement model incentivizes doctors to both improve patient results and eliminate unnecessary testing or other services. So in theory, it should work well, as long as there is a fair grading scale on which to measure patient outcomes. This grading system uses a number of data points that measure specific metrics along with improvement. So before we go any further, do you have any experience with a value-based care reimbursement program in your area? If so, please tell us about it in the comments section. It's important that we share our experiences so we can collectively learn more about, especially about something that's potentially so groundbreaking as value-based care. Now, it does appear that value-based care is slow to enter the chiropractic space, but it is starting to get some traction. When will it hit our industry in full force? I don't know. But my research tells me it'll be tested first in several markets before it starts to move across the country. And when it does, it'll move fast. The truth is that chiropractors only see 14% of the population. You know this. Should value-based care make deep inroads into chiropractic reimbursement, it should have the likely effect of adoption of newer technology that works synergistically with chiropractic adjustments, with the end goal, of course, to improve patient outcomes. I'd imagine this would drive higher utilization rates, and I hope so. All of this set aside, my belief is that we should always strive for even more effective ways to help people get to restored mobility, restored function, and of course reap the rewards of regular chiropractic care. Value-based care will then pay you better than other providers because your results are better. Now look at it this way. LeBron James gets paid better than most other professional basketball players, and he gets paid better because he performs better. He wins. So in other words, he wins a lot. And if you're delivering better, measurable results than your colleagues in the same town, perhaps you should be paid the highest as well because your results are the best. Doesn't that seem fair? Now, value-based care probably won't change a thing initially inside our HealthSource clinics because we always ensure that they have the very best treatment strategies that exist today. And in just a few years, those strategies will become obsolete. And that happens because the rate of technological advancement is crazy. It's getting faster and faster. So let's talk about another model, spinal decompression, inside value-based care. There are basically 3 generations of spinal decompression machines on the market today. The 3rd generation, the newest, that utilizes 100% direct drive. There are no ropes, no pulleys. It can accommodate virtually any antalgic posture. 80% of the patients will end up going prone. They're more sensitive, and our work shows that 3rd generation spinal decompression machines simply outperform the generation 2 and the previous generation machines. Yet most of the tables still sold today are generation 2. Doesn't make any sense to me. If generation 3 decompression machines deliver better results, then you should be paid higher than doctors still utilizing generation 2 because your results are better. That would be according to the value-based care model, and it seems to make sense to me. If your overall treatment plan for a patient consistently creates the highest in patient outcomes, then you'd get paid the most. Now, we're getting paid by inherent value, and that makes a lot of sense to me. It's exactly why LeBron James gets paid as well as he does. I mean, of course, I know what you're already thinking, the devil's in the details on this, and we won't know for sure how exacting or fair this model will be when it hits chiropractic. I mean, to that end, we need to remain vocal and uphold the intrinsic and extrinsic benefits of great chiropractic-centered treatment plans to the people in charge. So if you found this video interesting and helpful, grab our free report for chiropractors at hsfranchising.com. It'll show you how to scale your state-of-the-art practice. It's a game plan we followed to make these last 2.5 years some of the best growth we've ever seen. Blew away our projections. You can do the exact same thing. If you want what others have, do what they do, you will get what they get. So again, head on over to hsfranchising.com, and I hope you found some value. Have a beautiful day.